Obviously your junior football career started off at Darvel Juniors. What are the main differences you've found between them and moving to Talbot since you moved to Beechwood Park?
The biggest difference would have to be the quality in the football. Obviously it's a much higher level at Auchinleck, so everything about it's a lot more kind of professional. The tempo of the training, the quality of the training. You need a lot more commitment out with the training. With Auchinleck you need to really make sure you're always in peak condition. Whereas Darvel, you still had to do it at Darvel, but you have to do it a lot more intensively with Auchinleck.
So how did the move to Auchinleck Talbot come about, and what were the main attractions of moving to the club?
It was actually one of the strikers at the time, Kieran Milliken, who contacted me, who invited me in for a training session. That's where I was introduced to Tucker. So it was a couple of training sessions, then a game, and then I was offered the chance to sign. Main attraction would have to be, in junior football you don't get much bigger than Auchinleck, so it was really hard to knock back. And you just look at how much trophies I've won over the years. You know, that was a big appeal to me, was winning trophies and being at the best that there is in the game.
With Glenafton Athletic winning the Scottish Junior Cup and West of Scotland Super League Premier Division last year, how hungry is the team to win silverware this season?
Very. Obviously with Glenafton being local rivals of ours, it wasn't a nice feeling for any of us to see them with so much joy in winning the trophies. And obviously they deserved it, but especially in the Scottish Cup final, it's a bit of a sour taste with the way they won it. It's a wonder strike where over the piece we probably deserved to win the game, but we'll take it a game at a time and see what happens between now and the end of the season.
What's your relationship like with manager Tommy Sloan? Because he's obviously shown a lot of faith in you as you're now a regular in the Talbot defence at the age of just 21.
It's good. I got on well with Tucker, we call. He's always given me kind of room for improvement, always telling me where I can be better, but he's not. He's always the first there to compliment me when I've been doing well, and he keeps me on my toes and makes sure I'm always improving, which is enjoyable.
Although Talbot are one of the biggest junior teams in Scotland, they obviously aren't full time, so how difficult is it to give your best performance on a Saturday whilst having to balance football with work and family life?
During the season it's not too bad, just two training sessions a week and then the game on the Saturday. However, when the lighter nights come in, we're going to have quite an extensive schedule with the games. We're looking to be playing Monday, Wednesday, Saturday to catch up, as we've got about half the league games left and we're still in all the cups, so it'll be harder then, more difficult, but we'll have to adjust if we want to win the trophies by the end of it.
What's been the highlight of your career so far and why?
Would probably have to be signing for Rangers when I was 13, just given the stats of the club, how big they were. You look at some of the legends of Scottish football that have been playing there, so, and some of my family, my dad's side, are all big Rangers fans, so it was kind of an honour to play for them and be involved in their set-up for a year.
What are your ambitions for the future and how much do you think you can achieve at Auchinleck?
Well, I couldn't tell you what my plans are. I don't know myself. Obviously I'd like to be at Auchinleck as long as I can, and my ambitions would just to be to keep improving and as a team just keep winning each game, and hopefully at the end of each season have some silverware to put in the cabinet.
And there's obviously been players who have played for Talbot in the past that have moved on to professional football, like Chris Dillon, who's now scored over 100 goals for Partick Thistle. Would you ever like to follow in his footsteps and maybe move on to league or professional football?
Absolutely. Given my I'm only 21, so I've hopefully got another 13-14 years still playing, so hopefully an opportunity does come at one point for me to make the step, even if it's just for a season, to test the waters at senior football. So I've always been a United fan, so if an opportunity came for a club like themselves, I would love to take it and give it a shot. Yeah, definitely.